to Cybertopia. In our final solo session of the season, we follow in the footsteps of Juli as he seeks out new friends, the Circuit Breakers, who sent him a pin to find them under an arcade. You might remember from a previous episode with a different group. Only Juli will have to drag himself away from playing games to actually make contact. Special guest voiceover this episode comes from Juli Kelleher, an actual player and copy editor I know through the Panzer Stables community. And stick around at the end for another promo from our friends at Bright House Studios, this time for another show of theirs, The Lucky Die. All of the lights on the machine go out, and you hear a thud, and feel the floor drop, maybe like an inch. How do you react to this?
Well, first of all, I'm going to react in a little bit of frustration, because I was wrecking ass at this game. I haven't gotten a good pinball run like that ever. Oh my god. All right.
So as you step off of this depression in the ground where the floor has dropped a inch around this machine, you step away and the floor starts sliding away, and the machine kind of stays in place still, but the floor underneath it and in front of it has just kind of split open and revealed a manhole size hole going down into the ground with a ladder.
Of course, they have to make it all fancy. Could have just opened the door like a normal person. That's what I'm grumbling as I climb down.
Okay, so you climb down, and as you go down, there's like a button on the side of this kind of tunnel. Do you press the button?
Yes, I press the shiny candy-like button and hope that it is not a poison button.
No, you press this button and the floor that you've just gone through seals back over again, and the hole is disappeared from public view.
Ah, okay.
And you can carry on descending down the ladder, and when you get to the bottom, you see a brightly lit room full of computers and people at computers.
Ooh, computers.
Yeah.
Oh, people too, I guess.
Maybe like a dozen or so people, like very nerdy looking people in bright Technicolor clothing, and some of them have like wires going into their heads, and some of them have headsets on, and there's like some people with like full haptic suits and things.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to friendly wave hello with one of my tentacles until somebody acknowledges me.
Yeah, so somebody at the back of the room kind of swivels round on their chair and lifts up a visor from a headset and squints at you. Most of the other people, like, if they have noticed you, are like nervously trying to not notice you. Doing that kind of awkward geek thing of, oh, there's someone new here. I'm just going to concentrate on my game unless they interact with me or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this person at the end of the room kind of lifts their visor up and squints and like motions for you to approach.
Okay, I'll walk over.
Hey, mister.
Hi.
What are you doing down here with the CB boys?
Hi, I'm Juli. I messaged some schematics over earlier as a little taste of things that I could share with you. And
oh shit, that was you? Wow, you found us quick.
Well, you know, it just took a moment to pick out the flow of the room, and then the game was fun. I didn't want the game to end, but, you know.
Oh, yeah, that happens. So, you took down Stellar, right?
So, yeah. How would you like a download of their database?
Holy shit, you what?
You know, listen, I'll give you that, and I'll even share like the designs for my tentacles. I've been working on them a lot.
All right, buddy. I know nothing comes for free. What do you want?
Right. See, that's part of it. Is you know, the tentacles. You know, I would rather those be for private use only, but you can publicize as much as the Cella stuff as you want. You know, and share it and do whatever with it. That's totally your discretion what you do with that information. In exchange, I would like to make sure that me and a couple of friends, you know, like if there is anything on camera, that there's, you know, nothing that has our faces. And maybe if we could just be friendly.
Mate, if you were on camera, we'd know. We'd have already seen you.
Oh, that's good. I mean, see, this is already valuable information to me. I've been trying to lay low, so I haven't poked around too much yet to find out exactly what's out there. But, if we could have a positive working relationship and you could help me out with some hacking favors now and again, I'd be happy to share an open information flow with you.
This is too good to be true, right? Someone just sends us some stuff and wants to be our friend suddenly.
Well, listen, I'll be honest. If you know who I am, then you know that me and some of my friends tried to get liquidated by Amazing Core. We're kind of on our own
Wait,
now.
what?
And
Mate, I'm sorry. You sent us some stuff. I don't know who you are.
oh, okay. Well, okay. See, I used to work for Amazing Core, like doing all kinds of jobs in research and science and stuff. I love science. Like, if you guys have some experiments, I'd be super glad to help you with that, just for the sake of experimenting. But that's a whole separate thing. So, I and some of my friends used to work for Amazing Core, and I'm just going to give them essentially like a really honest recap of that final mission and how bad it went down and the horrible things that Amazing Core did.
Okay.
And then basically, to be quite honest, I have skills and knowledge, and I'm in need of some friends, including friends who have hacker skills. And so my self-interest is in making these kinds of friendships. It's, it is an ulterior motive, but there's no more ulterior motive than that.
Okay, let's have a deal-making roll.
All right. And that's just going to be a naked roll for me. I do not have the social skills.
Yeah, if only you had your social module.
Yeah, I know. They took that from me. They took away my peopling ability. I'm doing the best I can. So I roll a 14.
All right, so this person kind of rolls back a little on their chair and folds their arms and gives you a kind of stern look, but it's like a teenager trying to give someone a serious look. Like they look a bit like they're trying too hard. And this person clearly isn't that experienced in life. Just kind of looks you up and down like,
I dunno, fella. This is a lot to take in. Why now? What is it you want from us right now?
Well, I mean, honestly, if I don't need to be scrubbed right now, you have access to a lot of tech and stuff. If you could help me set up a workstation and acquire like lab equipment and stuff, that would be cool.
Lab equipment? Mate, we're a bunch of nerds, right? But we ain't like scientists.
Oh.
We ain't got like chemistry labs and shit.
Oh.
We can do some hardware, software stuff.
Well, let's put it this way. Could you set up a nice high-end computer lab that I could use to analyze my data and run simulations and things like that?
Like, yeah, we've got some spare workstations you can use down here.
Okay, so you would let me use your stuff down here. Would you be upset if I, modified some of it and upgraded it while I worked?
Oh, yeah, go for it, man. That sounds awesome.
Okay, then
Here, have this. You use this. This'll work for you.
then yeah. I mean, if you're going to give me, the insider pass to come hang out and build up a workstation and stuff like that, that is something that is of great value to me right now.
Look, I mean, as weird as this whole situation is, we've got some collateral over you with all this now. That feels hella iffy, but sure. I feel relatively secure with you around. Be careful with those tentacles, because I don't know what those things do, and they look dangerous.
They're my friends.
Yeah.
They're my friends. They're not super dangerous. They're like lab assistants, and they're learning how to be a people, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah. Alright, I getcha. Alright, use this. You'll be able to do whatever you need to do. We've got you a high-end station you can dock into over here.
and they hand you a helmet-like headset that you can put on, and that'll allow you to kind of explore a virtual space and create whatever kind of world you need to do what you need to do, like on the network.
Oh,
or,
this is awesome.
like, privately.
Thank
or
you.
whatever you want.
This works great for me. And then just one more. Here's that information. I'll give them the stick so they can copy everything. And could you help me? I'll describe Nox and Bludgeon and stuff like that, and ask them to help me find them so I can reconnect with them.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, we'll take this away and get to work on that for you. It might not be quick. There's a lot of data to go through.
That's okay. No, I understand. You got to take your time and download everything and organize it, and it takes time to look through a whole city for people. So I'm just gonna work if that's okay with you.
Just try not to be too noisy. Some of those boys down here are frightened easy, you know?
Okay, I'll try to be quiet and nice.
So this person turns around and you see them stick the stick into their machine and start beavering away. And every now and again, if you're keeping an ear out, you can hear them just like,
Wow! What the fuck? This is amazing!
Yes. This is the response that I want. I want them to be blown away. So the first thing I'm going to do is bust out my Porter Lab and Tentacles and Mad Science and, find this workstation. Specifically so that it's better at running complex simulations and things like that.
okay, cool. Let's have a souping up kind of roll then.
All right. That's 24 total.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. In no time at all, you smash together a bunch of connections and you're increasing the voltage and you're overclocking to the max. This machine gets like a electric blue glow around it as it's just powering up. Not in any sort of dangerous way. You've managed to heat sink it well and ground it so that it's not overpowering and stuff. It might not last for too long, but for a little while here, you've got a supercomputer.
All right. So, and then in that case, like Juli is basically just burning time at this point for Juli's sake. So Juli is just going to work on the Tentatool schematics, try to plan out refinements, try to plan out better ways to increase the Tentatool's ability to communicate and think.
Okay.
Just sort of refining the Tentatool plans and not working on it right now, but just using the advantage of the high computing power to run complex simulations and try to plan out different software hacks. And
are you wanting to enhance their AI capabilities?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a roll then for enhancing the Tentacles.
All right. Go Mad Science, go. That is a 17 total.
Okay. What modifier are the Tentacles at the moment? Are they a +1?
Yeah, my Tentacles are just at a +1 right now.
Okay. So, yeah, you can increase them to a +2, and this will be a permanent.
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, with a 17, you increase them to a +2. And, yeah, what you're doing is making them that little bit more autonomous. Like, at the moment, like, they've got their own minds, but they basically do as you tell them all the time. But now they're going to be able to react on their own to things, and they're going to be able to, like, previously when you got buried in the rubble, they kind of wrap themselves around you to look after you. But in future, if that were to happen, they may now be able to actually dig you out and, like, get you safe on their own.
Yay. Juli is just unnaturally for Juli going to have just the biggest ass smile on their face.
They've grown up.
Because Juli is just so thrilled and happy that they promised the Tentacles that they would try to help them once Juli realized that they had a level of sentience of something to them. And try to help them become more themselves. So this makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Probably weirding out the person in the workstation next to me, next to my weird, freaky super science workstation, petting my Tentatool.
Well, I think, yeah, as you're, like, souping up your Tentacles and giving them this extra kind of brain power, they start kind of just doing their own little things and maybe reaching out to people near them and, like, looking over someone else's shoulder and stuff, and people are starting to get a bit creeped out. And that person that you had given the stick to before and spoken to previously, like, kind of wheels back over, is like,
Hey, man, you want to keep those under control?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. They're a little curious. They're exploring boundaries here.
Yeah, no. These nerds.
Okay.
Social boundaries and stuff, please.
Okay, guys, you're weirding them out. Let's just focus on our work here.
and I think at that, the Tentacles then will come back and converge on the workstation that you've been given, and they start, like, tapping away. And they're doing their own little thing again, but they're doing it on your machine at least.
Yeah, no, 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 look over all this. That's right, Tech Tools. Look over all your own schematics. Understand what's been done and what's happening. That's good.
So I think you start seeing that they started looking at the things that you'd done to them and like exploring their own code and that sort of thing. And you quickly see them start to construct some sort of model. And maybe you put down your visor and you delve into the virtual space again, and you see that they're constructing what looks like a 3D model of the city.
Ooh.
They start picking out specific locations within the city where people might have been taken after being found at that destroyed warehouse that you came from at the start of the season.
Oh.
And you see them extrapolating and putting together probability matrices and putting together like flowcharts and trend lines. And you get like the green code lines falling down the screen like it's the Matrix or something. And you start seeing more lines crisscrossing, projecting from one location to another. And you see these 4 buildings appear. One of them is the building that you started at when you were in the field hospital, where Michael Crawford had recovered you and Frankie, Sayan, and Smart Coolman in the north of the city. And you see 3 other buildings highlighted in the east, west, and south of the city. And you start seeing some what look like route lines developing of where the Tentacles think your friends may have gone over the last. It's probably been like 3 or 4 days now. It's difficult to keep track of time with all of the things you've been through, having gone to the lead bank, and you don't even know how long you spent there working on your lab station there. And then you had the wild night out that has culminated in you ending up here. You start to see all of those lines converging on a point in the center of the city, actually not very far from where you are just now.
Oh, well, that's very convenient and good. I'm going to pet the tentacles and thank them profusely. Like this is so useful. Thank you so much, helping us all return together.
Yeah, that person wheels over again. It's like,
Dude, you're being really weird.
Okay, well I'm gonna leave soon. As soon as you're done downloading the data, I'm just gonna head out.
Yeah, I've got all this stuff. Here's your stick back.
All right.
There's a lot here, man. We can do some analysis and shit and get back in touch with you.
Yeah, and if you need some help understanding some of the more complicated science stuff or engineering stuff, yeah, I mean I'll be around. You can just poke me about it, and I can help decipher it for you.
All right.
and they look over your shoulder to the display that is connected to the machine you're working on. Like,
That map there? That convergence point? That's where you're going?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Media building, that is. You know that one?
Sure, it's a building.
it is the biggest skyscraper in the city, and it is the main network tower where all of the media companies have offices. Like, there's TV stations that
Oh,
operate out of there.
media building.
Tech companies have their like fancy headquarter offices in that building and stuff.
Yeah, that's actually just around the corner. You going there now?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go wander over. I think that's where some of my friends are.
Right. Well, you're in luck. We've kind of got a back door into there.
Oh, well, that is indeed helpful. See, look at that! Look at that! I told you you could do all kinds of helpful things for me. It's good that we're friends now.
Yeah, yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll keep this going for now.
They point to a large steel door at the back of this room.
You go through there. I warn you, they're gonna be a bit stinky, but it's alright. They're not active use anymore, those sewers. Take a right, go a few 100 meters down. It's like the 3rd or 4th tunnel to the right again. At some point, you'll see the big steel doors. Go through them, and you'll get to the maintenance elevator to the media building.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you.
Now, I mean, it's a big building. You got any idea where in there they'd be?
I sort of go to where I'm going to go, and then I just sort of figure it out as I go along. I mean, it's been working out for me so far, so I'm just going to stick with that.
Alright. Free thinking and all that. Okay.
Free thinking, free living, it's a whole new thing for me. I'm trying it out.
Interesting fella you are. Is this what happens when you get old?
Maybe. Maybe this is what happens when people get old. At least when interesting people get old.
All right. This has been an interesting night.
Have a good one. I'll see you around.
Yeah, bye.
And I'll head through the door, make the right, go down, make the right, and hope that their directions are correct. All right, down the tunnels we go.
Okay, so you can wander down these tunnels. Let's have another roll to see if you get lost down here, because it is quite confusing despite the relatively simple sounding instructions.
All right.
Like, it's pitch dark.
So, yeah, it apparently is super pitch dark and confusing because I roll a 4.
Ooh. Okay. You think that you followed those instructions perfectly, but you can't find those doors that you were told about. And you try and retrace your steps, and then you can't find the door back to where you'd been with the circuit breakers.
Great. This is how I die. Lost in the sewers.
And it's pitch dark. I think like the tentacles are feeling their way along the walls to make sure you don't like fall down a hole or anything. But you're kind of lost and stuck in the sewers at this point.
All right. Well, at this point, I have no choice but to keep wandering and hope that I can find a door to get out, or that I can find some kind of ladder or something to climb up.
Maybe there is something you could construct with like your portal lab or something that would help you find an exit. Like maybe it runs through your head that like the media building is going to be drawing like a lot of power. Like there's definitely going to be conduits or something.
Oh, yeah. Even here in the sewers, there's probably some radio signals leaking. Probably the only place you could get radio signals from.
Yeah, and if anything, like they might be more concentrated down here without all of the noise from the citywide network and that.
Oh, yeah. So let's try that. Okay, go Tools and Porter Lab.
And this is definitely mad science.
And Mad Science. I was going to say, so that's an 18 total with all the bonuses added together.
Okay. So I think the first thing that happens is the tentacles start like doing something to create some little sparks that are creating enough light that there's some glow and you can see what you're doing with the portal lab. And from there, you're able to construct some sort of electromagnetic field that is resonating and flowing and fluxing with the signal of the power spikes. You're going through these tunnels using this almost like a metal detector, but it's like detecting power fluctuations. And there's a few places where it spikes, but none of them are the description that you were given of the big doors. There's one area you find that seems to have like a busted door, and you look in, and it's like the bottom of an elevator shaft, but it looks like it's really kind of broken down and old in this bit, and you're like, nah, can't be that one. And you carry on walking, and eventually you come across these big doors that kind of sound like what was described to you.
Well, at least the doors were right, even if the directions were.
Yeah, and they're like cargo elevator doors. And I think with your tentacles, you're able to just kind of pry them apart without too much resistance.
Okay.
And you can see that there is an elevator that is in this underground position.
All right. So I'm going to kind of glance at the tentacles and lay a hand on one of the tentacles and be like, okay, so do you know which floor we're supposed to go to? I gesture at the controls, like, if not, then I'll make a random guess. But.
Well, it's the middle of the night. It's maybe 2, 3 a.m. at this point. The city is dead. There's not really going to be people in the offices, certainly in the media building. Like, there'll be some parts of it that are like the 24-hour news and stuff like that, but there's not probably a lot of activity going on in here. But the tentacles plug in, and they start trying to pick up again on more power fluctuations. They may be plugging into this device that you made with the portal lab and trying to sense activity in the building. And they pick up on particularly unusual activity in the penthouse.
All right, let's head on up to the penthouse suite. See what kind of party we got going on. Am I joining the party? Am I crashing the party? We're going to find out.
Yeah, so this cargo elevator just shoots straight up, and within a matter of moments, you're at the penthouse. And maybe a warning light comes on in the elevator of penthouse is under construction, construction workers only sort of warnings. And then the doors open and you see a whole bunch of your former Amazing Corps colleagues.
Yay!
And none of them were expecting you. None of them knew you were coming. They all just kind of turn around and were like, whoa!
You see, looking up from the ground, blood-red clouds boiling across the sky.
You did ask me to bring the thunder.
Dajin! Help! I've got the chalice, please!
Well, if they're following you, then I guess that takes care of a loose end for me.
All of you feel the earth beneath you shake and crack and break.
I feel that I have failed both of you, and I am sorry for that.
This has nothing to do with you being a bad leader.
Do you want a countdown? Oh, I think I want a countdown.
I wanted to help.
3,
I always had good intention.
2,
I did not deserve
1.
to die.
Now.
The Lucky Die is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast with its current campaign set to close in 2027 after 10 years. Find us anywhere you find your podcasts by searching The Lucky Die.